already knew I had issues before I arrived at this conference. And now I have a new one. There's this wealthy gym fellow. How do I get to meet this guy? Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and especially Glenda. Let me tell you, this was one powerful speech. I loved it so much. It had really the quintessence of a Toastmaster's speaking skills displayed throughout the speech, from the very powerful opening, which was extremely engaging throughout. In other words, this opening had the energy that drew us all in and engaged each and every one of us. And I thought that was really effective. I'll share a few other highlights as I go through this, but I just want to kick it off with saying that that was particularly the strength of this speech. The energy was so infectious. As I was sitting in the back of the audience, looking at the audience, stepping in, leaning in, because as Glenda was speaking, she did everything just right. The eye contact, as she stayed in position, she paused. The communication had its ups and downs, but she was connecting with each and every eye in the audience. And I thought that was very, very powerful. In addition, there was one particular area of great strength that was funny because it was the very effective use of humor. This humor drew great laughter out of the audience, yet interestingly enough, it was like a punch in the gut to me. Because I happen to be one of these analytical folks. And when she said something to the people that were maybe concerned about her use of grammar or ineffective use of grammar, that hit me hard. So she was speaking right to me there as well. But it was really good, and that was just one example that was very effective use of humor throughout the speech. The other thing that I thought was very good is that as she was incorporating pauses in the speech, she incorporated also very effective use of body language and gestures. For instance, the talk of joy and anger and angst and all of these things that she was communicating, and love. Really, really good. There's a couple of areas I will suggest, though, in my analysis that could be looked at, because this is a really great speech, and the challenge is, how do you make a great speech like this even better? Well, there's a couple of areas. When Glenda got to the point of the full plate, no fork, I noticed that the pace increased very rapidly, and whereas she had that connection with the audience basically throughout the speech from the very beginning, that increase of pace had a loss of connection, I believe, at least with me. And I would suggest slowing it down a little bit more at that point in the speech. In addition, following on that theme, the other area was what seemed to be a rather abrupt ending. It seemed like it came up very, very rapidly and did not have necessarily the strong call to action or wrap-up of everything that was so effectively communicated through the speech. These are just a couple of areas that I think would improve it and make it more holistically connected to the audience. But overall, in summation, great energy, very powerful, great use of humor, a couple of things to work on just in the speed and connection, and then overall, she really communicated a powerful message that touched me and moved me emotionally.